I have to apologize in advance if I take a little extra care to translate a lot of terms from Hebrew and Aramaic into English, because we are recording the Shiur, and it's possible that it will reach beginners, people who don't have the familiarity with some of the phraseology that we're used to. So I know it's a little jarring sometimes. I'll try not to sound professorial, but it'll be maybe a little more English than usually gets into this type of presentation. So there's a Gemara in Chulin, in Parakisi Adam, that tells us a little bit about the origin of a number of mitzvahs, including the Efer Parah, which is something that we're busy with now in theory, because we had Parshas Parah. We read in the Torah about one of the things you have to do before Pesach is to prepare by having that mixture that's created from the red calf, the red cow, and that's a preparation that purifies us, enables us to greet Pesach. Of course, today we don't have the actual preparation itself, so we use different Torah, so by learning about it, it will replace for us to bring us, hopefully, some of that purity, that Torah, that we need to enable us to approach Pesach properly. And so this Gemara, I'm actually going to start from a different point in the Gemara, because this was the question that was first presented to me that got me very involved in this discussion, because the Daf Yomi internet kernel, some of you may be subscribers to that, it's a very wonderful service. Rabbi Kornfeld was the Rosh Kollel, and for many years what they did was they studied through the source materials on the Gemaras that studied by the Daf Yomi, on one daf a day of Gemara. And in English, they bring commentary on the basic questions that people encounter. So, but it's based in Eretz Yisrael, in Israel, and when they don't find something published, they go to the local scholars. And then when the local scholars are out of answers, so then they send out distress signals all over the world. So this question was sent to me from there, and this is how I re-examined the sugya that I thought I knew, and I realized that I didn't know it at all. So the Gemara says like this, that Mitzvos Amar Avram imichut v'ad shorech now zochel l'shtei mitzvahs. We know that the king of Sodom was very grateful for the intervention that Abraham did on his behalf, and he offered him all kinds of reward. So he said to him, no, I am not going to allow myself to take any part of this. I wouldn't take a string, I wouldn't take a shoelace, nothing at all. And so we say that based on that, that was something deserving of reward. So as a reward, the children of Abraham, you and me, we have the opportunity to do two mitzvahs represented by this string and the strap. And those are the mitzvah of chod shel tchelas, the string of tchelas, which is the tzitzis, but particularly with a focus on the blue string. And ritzua shel tefillin, the strap of tefillin, of the phylacteries, that we wear. Those two mitzvahs were given to us, so to speak, over and above the original plan. We got some bonus mitzvahs because of this beautiful thing that Avram did, that here you had a great opportunity to take a nice payday, which was even well deserved, but he felt that based on the type of individual that the king of Sodom was, that the people of Sodom were, that he didn't want to be involved with that, so he didn't take it, and as a result, we got these mitzvahs. So, this Gemara appears here in Chulin Daf Peites. It also appears in Saita Enough Yud Zayin. So the Gemara establishes a certain paradigm here, a certain system, that all of these things, in order for it to be to fit in with this idea that because he did something, he gets a reward, there has to be a hano involved. And I'll show you how they get to it. It goes like this. The Gemara brings, over here is Parakisi Adam. They're talking about the fact that when you when you slaughter a bird or certain the wilder animals that are kosher, you have to cover the blood with earth. And they say, in the course of discussing that mitzvah of earth, they mention that there's a different mitzvah with earth, which is the earth that's used for a saita. And there's a history to that, similar to the one we just said about the tzitzit. The film goes like this. As a reward for the fact that Avram said that I am dust and ashes. So, so we got two mitzvahs that involve dust and ashes. Eifah Parah, the ashes of the red cow, the offer saita, and the dust, the earth that's used to purify the saita. To test, to probe, to see, to help the situation where the husband suspects his wife and there's a need for clarity. And that earth is mixed with the water and mixed with the print of Hashem's name, and through that the clarity emerges. So those two mitzvahs, Eifah Parah and Offer Stoita, were given as reward for Avram saying, V'noichi Offer V'Eifah. So the Gemara says, V'lichshav Nami Offer Kisui. Wait a second. If you're telling me that mitzvahs that are associated with earth are a reward for saying Offer V'Eifah, why don't you also mention Offer Kisui? In this Gemara we're learning about a mitzvah that's done with the earth. We take the earth and we cover the blood. So the Gemara says, Hasam Hechshem Mitzvah Ika Hano Aleka. The Gemara says, well, the problem with this mitzvah of covering the blood is that you don't gain anything out of it. There's no hana. What do you care if the blood's covered or not? God wants you to cover the blood. It's something that He asked for, but it doesn't make the meat any more permissible. Once you shechted it, you could eat it, whether or not you cover the blood. And so as a result, you're not really gaining anything from covering the blood, and that doesn't count. What Rava meant was, he was referring to mitzvahs where you have benefits. So Rashi says, of course, in the case of Eifah Parah and Offer Saita, you have tremendous benefits. Because if you put on this ash of the red cow, what happens? If you were Tomei Mace, you were impure, now you're pure. And in the case of the Saita, by using this earth, what happens? Matul Shalom Inish V'Ishta. Bring peace between a husband and a wife. So there's terrific benefit for it, fringe benefits. And so the Gemara establishes this paradigm that even though he said, B'schar, as a reward, we got mitzvahs, he didn't really mean the mitzvahs so much, because, all right, mitzvahs. But it means this hano. Oh, these are mitzvahs that provide hano. That's what he really means, that's the reward. So, whereas covering the blood, it's a nice mitzvah, but no hano. And then the Gemara brings the other thing, now, that because he said with the string and the strap, we got the string of tchelas and the strap of tefillin. And the Gemara now, using the same system, so now you're going to have to find hano. So the Gemara says, tefillin, we understand what's the hano, what's the side benefit of tefillin, because it says that when Goyim see you wearing tefillin, they get scared. So that's very advantageous. But what's the big benefit of having tzitzis, right? So all the problems with the laundry, of course, you know. So what's the hana? So the Gemara says the hana is, the benefit is, the side benefit is based on what Rameh said. Because Rameh said, why did they choose? Why did the Torah choose this unique color of blue? Because this color of blue is evocative. It has in it an ability mentally to connect to the blue of the sky. And in one place the Gemara says sapphire then evokes the sky, and then the sky evokes the Kisei HaKavod, God's heavenly throne, which apparently the heavenly throne